Hello everyone, hope you're doing great. So today we are starting the new topic, which is the trial balance. So in today's video we will be covering the definition of trial balance, then we will have some of its objectives and the importance of trial balance, then we will look at the common format of the trial balance, and we will have limitations as well, and in the end we will have a short summary of this whole topic to make it more clear. Okay, so the trial balance is the most essential step of the accounting cycle. It is the fourth step of the accounting cycle and the most important as well. We can think of this as the final checkup for our books before we move on to creating financial statements like the balance sheet, profit or loss, cash flow. Moving on, we have a definition of trial balance. Define it for you guys. So trial balance is a report. It is actually a report that gathers every single closing balance from our ledgers into one place, which on the other hand we can say that it is the checkup stage for our account balances. The primary purpose of trial balance is to ensure that our debits and credits are perfectly balanced following the principles of double entry bookkeeping. But still we cannot say that the balances are 100% accurate. This is actually the limitations of the trial balance. We will look at them later. For now, we can say that the trial balance is the checkup stage of the accounting cycle, or the most essential stage of the accounting cycle. Oh, next, we the format is actually very specific. The standard specific a standard trial balance is a very specific look. We always start with the clearer header including the company name and the date, then we list the account on the left with their final balances either in the debit or the credit column. The next, the rules for classification. Okay, so on the debit side of the trial balance we put the balances of assets, expenses and then dividends, and on the opposite side, on the credit side of the trial balance, we put the balances, closing balances of liabilities, the closing balance of ledgers of liabilities, equity, capital, revenue or income. It simply follows the order of assets, then comes liabilities, equity, revenue and then expenses. To fill this out correctly, remember your normal balances. Assets and expenses naturally have a debit balance, we remember. Okay, then while liabilities, capital and income belong in the credit column. If you follow this order, it will be much easier to recognize later. The things actually, they cannot be the 100% accurate, but we can follow these rules to make it best possible. Now we have the limitations of the trial balance. The trial balance is actually a very useful tool, but it has limitations as well, like it does not prove 100% accuracy, and it might not identify errors like omission if we omitted any transaction, and the principal error, the commission error. Let me briefly define these errors. Like omission, we can say that when we completely missed a transaction, it will be called an omission error. The principal error, when we post to the wrong type of account, like asset instead of expense. And then a commission error, we can say that using the right amount but the wrong specific account. A balanced trial balance is actually a great thing, but it's not perfect. It only proves the math is right. It won't tell you if you completely forgot to record a sale or any transaction, or if you accidentally charged rent expenses when it should have been the wages. But we can avoid these errors by following the basic rules of the trial balance. Moving to the end, we have the summary of the trial balance. Okay, so now trial balance is the fourth step in the accounting cycle and the most essential as well. It ensures debits equals credits. It is the foundation for financial statements. It is actually the draft that is prepared before financial statements are being prepared. The trial balance is our mathematical safety. Once we know our books are balanced, we can move on confidently move to the next step, like adjusting entries and final reporting. So today we have covered the definition of trial balance, its limitations, the objectives and importance of trial balance. Then we discussed the common format of the trial balance, and in the end we have had a summary of the trial balance. Hope the things are clearer to you. Okay, so thanks for watching. See you in the next video.